Hello, everybody. We're going to give people a little bit more time to log on to this meeting. We'll probably start in about 5 minutes. Aloha, and welcome to our online hearing presentation. Considering the evolving COVID-19 situation, protecting the health and welfare of the community is of utmost concern. As such, the public hearing will be held remotely with DAR staff via an online meeting platform tonight. It is now 5:36 p.m. and this public hearing is called to order. This is a formal public hearing on the proposed amendment and compilation of Hawaii Administrative Rules, HAR Chapters 1351, Kahului Harbor Fisheries Management Area, FMA, and 13-95.1, Island-Based Fisheries relating to Oama. As required by law, the proposed rules have been drafted in Ramsar format and copies are available online at these two links. http://lieutenantgov.hawaii.gov/theoffice/administrative rules or at https://dlnr.hawaii.gov/dar/public-notices/. And that is posted on the screen as well. My name is Adam Wong, and I'm the Maui Education Specialist with the Division of Aquatic Resources. I will be conducting tonight's public hearing. The purpose of this hearing is to provide the public with the opportunity to provide comments in the form of oral and written testimony on these proposed amendments to the administrative rules relating to the Kahului Harbor FMA, as well as the administrative rules relating to the harvest of Oama. Approvals to conduct this public hearing have been obtained by the Board of Land and Natural Resources on May 14, 2021, and Governor Ige on June 15, 2021. The legal notice of this public hearing was published in the June 13, 2021 Sunday issue of the Honolulu Star Advertiser. On July 7, 2021, the department issued a press release regarding this hearing. First, I will show you a quick PowerPoint presentation outlining the rulemaking process and explaining the proposed changes to administrative rules. Then I will call on those who have signed up to testify. If you have not already received the Zoom link for live video testimony and wish to be put on the list for live video testimony, please email your requests to edward.l.kekoa@hawaii.gov. In your email, please provide your name, phone number, and affiliation, if any. The online public hearing testimony process will proceed as follows. You will follow the link sent to you and provide your name, email, phone number, and affiliation, if any. Once connected, you will be placed into a virtual waiting room. Please note that while you are waiting to provide testimony, please make sure that your microphone is muted and your video camera is off. We will be letting 5 testifiers into the Zoom meeting at a time. Your microphone will remain muted and your camera will remain off until the host indicates that you are up next. When it is your turn to speak, you will be given full access to the meeting. At that time, if you are watching the YouTube live stream, you will need to mute the YouTube live stream to avoid microphone feedback. When testifying, please state your first and last name for the record. If you are testifying on behalf of an organization, please include the name of the organization as well. Testimony will be limited to a maximum of 3 minutes. You will be given notice when 30 seconds remain and asked to wrap up by the 3-minute time limit. If you continue to testify beyond your allotted time, I will kindly ask you to complete your testimony. And if you continue on, we will mute you and remove you from the Zoom meeting. At this time, I would like to introduce the rest of our staff here tonight assisting with this public hearing. We have Russell Sparks, our Maui Island biologist, Luna Kekoa, who's our CBSFA coordinator in our Oahu office, and Keali'i Sagum, who's our legal fellow also within our Oahu office. I will first start off with the Kahului Harbor Fisheries Management Area's history, current rules, and proposed amendments. Then we'll go over the island-based fisheries rules relating to Oama. The original Kahului Harbor FMA was created in 1984 and consisted of 3 special net fishing restriction zones. The state legislature passed Act 241 in 2006, making the entire harbor a no netting area, which went into effect on July 1st, 2007. This act also established these laws would be repealed upon the adoption of new administrative rules to regulate user conflicts within the harbor. Over a period of 2 years, beginning in 2006, the division held scoping meetings to hear concerns from fishermen and proposed regulations were drafted. In 2008, a public hearing was held on these draft rule amendments, and in 2009, Hawai'i Administrative Rules, Chapter 13-51, Kahului Harbor FMA went into effect. From 2014 through 2016, the community led meetings addressing resource and fishing issues within the FMA. The division later held small meetings with fishermen and resource managers regarding these concerns and held a public scoping meeting in 2019 where proposed rule amendments were discussed. On May 2021, the Board of Land and Natural Resources approved the proposed rules to go to public hearing. I will now review the current rules pertaining to Chapter 13-51 Kahului Harbor FMA. It is unlawful for any person while within the area to use any net, except that a person may use a bait net to take nehu and other fish with valid nehu bait license, a net except lay net to take only a kule with valid commercial marine license, a landing net to secure hooked marine life, a push net or hand net while on shore to take shrimp and other marine life, provided that the push net or hand net, including the handle or handles, is not more than 3 feet in any dimension. A crab net not more than 2 feet in diameter to take crabs, provided that no person may use more than 10 such crab nets at any time. And a net to take mullet less than 3 inches fork length and other marine life for the purpose of stocking a licensed aquaculture facility. You are allowed to take or possess a bag limit of more than 50 marine life per person per day, with the exception that a person may possess more than the total bag limit of bait fish with a valid nehu bait license or of a kule with a valid commercial marine license. Chapter 1351 also doesn't allow for snagging of marine life and no more than 2 poles per person, provided that each pole may only have 1 line and each line may have no more than 2 hooks, with each hook having 1 point while at or near the shoreline. There are also reporting requirements at our fishers check-in stations. Now, I would like to go over the proposed rule amendments pertaining to HER Chapter 1351, Kahului Harbor FMA. HER 13-51-1, the definitions, proposed changes clean up this section by removing many definitions that are no longer needed and making slight changes to other definitions in order to provide more clarity and to improve consistency with other existing rules. HER 13-51-2, 1 would prohibit the use of all nets in the harbor with the exception of a landing net with stretched mesh of 2 inches or greater, and a hand net no larger than 8 inches in diameter, and with a handle that is no more than 14 inches in length. These rules would repeal the exceptions of surround akule netting, crab nets, and push nets for bait fish or shrimp. This section further proposes to remove the exceptions for take of nehu under a commercial bait license, remove the exceptions for commercial akule net fishing, remove the exceptions for crab netting, remove the exceptions for take of juvenile mullet under an aquaculture license. HER 13-51-2 4 would also create an exception to the rule that all hooks must only have one point in order to allow for the use of a double or treble hooks when using artificial lures. HER 13-51-3 would completely repeal, removing the fisher check station reporting requirements. Now I'd like to talk about the Hawaii Administrative Rules, Chapter 1395, Island-Based Fisheries relating to Oama. The current rule defines Oama as any juvenile vekea, Maloidictes flavoviniatus, or white veke, which is less than 5 inches in length. There is a 50 fish bag limit per person per day, and Oama can be taken by hook and line only. HER 13-95.1-1 proposes to change the current legal definition of Oama on Maui and would add vekeula, Maloidictes vanicolensis, which is the red veke, as a regulated species, in addition to the existing vekea. The definition of Oama will be redefined to include these two species of goatfish. The definition would also change the size of Oama from less than 5 inches to less than 8 inches in length. Currently, if you take any Oama over 5 inches by mistake, you are in violation of the rules, and some fishers have been cited for this simple mistake. This change keeps the intent of Oama fishing exemption from the general goatfish 8-inch minimum size rule, but also allows the exemption 50 fish allowed bag limit captured by pole and line only to be applied to all vekea and vekeula that are under the 8-inch minimum size. This will allow fishers to participate in the popular Oama fishery without inadvertently breaking the rules. Other proposed changes to 13-95.1 are focused on creating consistency between other existing rules. We will now move on to the oral testimony portion of this public hearing. As described at the beginning of this meeting, those of you who have signed up to give live testimony via Zoom should have received a Zoom link and should have already be joined and waiting in the virtual waiting room. We will now admit testifiers into the meeting, 5 at a time. Testifiers, as I call your name, please state your first and last name and clearly whether you support, oppose, or have no position on the proposed rules. As of right now, we do not have anyone in the waiting room. We'll hold on for a couple of minutes to see if the people that signed up are going to join us. So far, we have no one in our waiting room. We're gonna give people until 6 o'clock, and then we're gonna wrap the meeting up. So please email edward.l.kikoa@hawaii.gov to provide testimony. Thank you. So nobody signed up to give testimony today. So I will let you guys know how to submit late testimonies. Persons unable to attend today or wishing to present additional comments may mail written testimony to us by July 30th, 2021. Please mail testimonies to Department of Land and Natural Resources, Division of Aquatic Resources, 1151 Punch Bowl Street, room 330, Honolulu, Hawaii, 96813. Written testimony may also be submitted by email to dlnr.aquatics@hawaii.gov. Based on the testimonies presented, the department will submit its findings and recommendations to the Board of Land and Natural Resources. If approved by the board, the Department of the Attorney General will conduct a final legal review. If approved, the proposed rules will be given to the governor for his final approval. Should the governor grant approval, certified copies will be filed with the Lieutenant Governor's office, and after 10 days, it becomes effective as law. If you have any questions regarding this process, please feel free to email, once again, dlnr.aquatics@hawaii.gov. On behalf of the Board of Land and Natural Resources and DAR, thank you for attending this public hearing. This public hearing is now adjourned. Time 6:03 p.m.